Welcome back to Barb's Crocheting. I know it's been about 4 months since I last posted. The short redacted version is life happened again and again and again. So I hope everyone's had a good Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, everything in between, start of the school year, whatever it may be. And sorry I missed it all. So I think when I left off, I had 2 projects going. And of course, I'll give you an update on those. The secondary project, we'll call it, was the Karen anniversary cake in the color Gingerbread Forest. I had 3 cakes. I was making a double crochet moss stitch blanket. And the update on that is there is no update. I have not done anything on that blanket whatsoever. The reason is if I'm doing more than one project, I'm crocheting, but I feel like I'm not making progress on anything. So I'll set one aside, or however many aside, and do the primary project. In this case, it was my elk blanket. That was the primary project. So the update on that one is on June 27th at 11 p.m., ironically, exactly 11 p.m., I put the last crochet stitch in that blanket. And I have all the ends to weave in, and I started doing that, but it's been 95 to over 100 degrees, and normally I don't mind making blankets in the summertime, but it's been way too hot, just way too hot. And that's a single crochet blanket. That's a graph, and it was just too hot to weave in the ends on that California king size blanket. So I had to set that one aside. All I have to do is weave in the ends, and I'm going to set time aside when it gets cooler to crochet the ends in on that blanket, 2 other blankets, and 2 wall hangings. Normally I don't do that, but I've been leaving projects. However, one of the blankets I do have to get done by the end of the school year. So, and that one is the crab cakes. I cannot remember the name of that stitch. It's one I did a while back, but I can't remember the name of it. So, it is a gift that I will have to give at the end of the school year. So, I need to weave in the ends like really quick. So, I'm going to weave in the ends on the elk blanket, that blanket, and then my third blanket, which is really small, and then the 2 wall hangings. But I cannot do that while it is 95 to over 100 degrees. Just way too hot. So, that is the update on those. I know, really quick update. I had in my head a whole bunch of other things I was going to say, but quick update. One of my shortest updates ever. Now, my next project I wasn't going to mention in this video, but since this video is only 4 minutes long, as opposed to all my other half-hour to 45-minute long videos, I will mention this next project that I'm making. However, the first thing I got to show you is the hook I'm using. I got a set of these hooks after I saw the review on cinnamon stitches, and I really liked these. And they're not as heavy as the Furrows crochet hooks, she said, which is why I wanted to try them. And I got these. And I have not been able to use them yet because I only use 1 crochet hook per project. So the specific project I start with, the hook I start with, is the one I use for the entire project. This one is the 5.5 millimeter hook that came with the set, or in the set of 6. Sorry, I sound like I'm slurring my words, or at least that's the way it sounds to me, and I'm not trying to. Maybe I just need more coffee. Coffee and crochet. Why not? Anyway, I bought these after I saw her video, And this is like plastic or acrylic with a metal head. And I really like the shape. Last time I was crocheting with some furls hooks, they felt a little heavy and these two fingers were hurting. So this is the crochet hook I'm using. Now, what I'm making now, it says use 5mm hook. I was going to do a 6, but 5.5. So, hey, let's go, right? Now, I'm making a sunflower blanket. I really wanted to try this. I love the pictures. But I've been a little afraid to do granny squares because I don't like weaving in the ends. But I love the way it looks. And I have a coworker who just, when you look at her, you just kind of, and you talk to her, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like sunflowers. And it turns out she actually likes sunflowers. So that was perfect. So here's what I'm using. I've made these squares so far. I haven't done a lot of crocheting in the past few months, but I started working on these sunflower squares. Now, this is a big twist toffee color that I used on my elk blanket. I wasn't planning on using it on this. I was planning on doing study of reality with it. I'll have enough for that blanket, definitely. I bought way too much for the elk blanket. That one, we'll talk about more in a minute. And then this one is Super Saver. No, Karen 1 pound. I think it might be called sunflower. I don't remember it. They're over there in a bag. I should have grabbed them first, but I didn't even think about it. This one is actually Red Heart. It's more like a lemon yellow. And this one is my Red Heart Frosty Winter. And I had a little bit of a skein left on this color. I wasn't sure how the colors would work together, but I do like it. Now, here's the end, or the back. Sorry, here's the back with all my ends. That is what I'm afraid of. Now, the blanket I'm making says make 32 squares. I'm, of course, not doing that. I made 16 of these, and then I think in between, I'm going to make just the green squares. I've already started one. Oh, we got caught. So I'm making just the green square. This is how much I have done of it so far. However, I have to wait till Thursday till I have more yarn of this frosty winter color because this is what I have left. This is it. I don't know why. I'm trying to use up the yarn I have. And I'm only buying yarn if I need it for a project, which I need for this project. But these squares are just going to go in between these around the edge only. And then I think in the middle, in between these squares, in the center of the blanket, I'm going to use this dark sunflowery yellow. I don't know why that was so hard to say. This dark yellow, I'm going to use that in between. Now, I thought of alternating between this one and this one in the center. Like put one row around the dark yellow, one row around the light yellow. I don't know. I think that might be a bit too much color. So I'm just going to do the green plain square in between on the top, all around, and then this one in the center in between all these squares. So I have 16 of these. I don't think that's going to be enough for the blanket I want to make. I like making minimum twin size blankets. So I'm going to lay these out and see how many I have or how big it's going to be. Because I have this, and I was putting them in a Ziploc bag, which was a great idea. So I had too many. But I have 16. So, oh, these were made last. Okay. So here's my pile. My 16 squares. Here's how big they are. You know, I actually don't think It's not going to be big enough. But on the four corners, I was going to put a sunflower on each of the four corners, but you know what? I might make a solid on each of the four corners. You know what? That might be better. So, on my little stack of squares there, I got to weave in the ends and block them, but I want to see how many squares I need first. So, I'm going to make crinkles right now. I'm trying to put these back in the bag, which obviously is not going to work the way I think, because it never does. Never does. All right. So like these are not going to fit all the way in. And you know what? I'm thinking these might just be offset, but like these actually don't even look the same size, but they are. They are. And this is my first granny square blanket. So I'm a bit nervous how it's going to look. It's for a coworker. And then I have, she has two daughters. And I'm going to make them just, it's not going to be a huge blanket. It's going to be smaller, but it's going to have their name on it with some hearts. And their name in the center. And then the outside is going to have, I don't think it's single crochet. I think it's like double crochet or half double crochet around. And then it's going to have like the fillet hearts around it. So I'm going to try that. But so far, like before work or after work, doing one of those granny squares or part of a granny square is actually working rather well for me right now, because it's not a huge project. So I see the appeal of granny squares. And the blankets for her kids, I'm going to use the Red Heart Sweet Treat yarn. I had bought that yarn with nothing in mind. I just like the colors, and it reminded me of Sweet Tarts. The colors did. So that one is going to be in the Sweet Treat yarn. And then the name and the heart in the center. I have this pretty blue yarn I'm going to use. I had got it for my daughter for a waffle stitch beanie and scarf. I made her the beanie and found out she doesn't wear them. She doesn't like them. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I asked her if she wanted me to make the scarf. And she goes, Mom, I don't wear scarves. I don't wear them. She's like, don't even bother making it. So I was like, okay, well, now I have the blue yarn. And I was looking for yarn for the blanket I'm going to make for this coworker's daughters. And I was like, you know what? Blue would go great with that purple and that pink. And I was like, dang it, I don't think I have the right color blue. And then I remembered I had that blue. So I was like, oh, perfect. It just came together. And I'll be able to use up some of this brown toffee yarn, sunflower yellow, lemon yellow, obviously the frosty winter green. And then I'm going to be using up the sweet treat yarn and that blue yarn. And that's going to be quite a bit of that out of my stash. And then when the weather gets a bit cooler, I can move in the ends on those other blankets and finish the gingerbread forest blanket. Because I have half a cake left, it is not going to take me that long. It really is not. Then I can shuffle the yarn around, get the yarn for this project all set up, and then the project for the sweet treat blankets set up. I just have to go pull them out of the bins, set them to the side. No, actually, I did that with the sweet treat yarn. I just have to go get that blue yarn and put it in the same bag. And then we're good on that. That project will be set up. And we'll be good to go. So there's the update. Around 15-minute long video. Not too long, hopefully. Not too much babbling today, I hope. But I'm hoping to get some more videos out soon. Like I said, life has just happened this year over and over and over again. So as I'm getting the things set up and taken care of for that, I hope I can get just some more videos out, because you know what? I'm still crocheting, not as much as I was, because I have other stuff to do. And I found out, me personally, if I start crocheting, the whole day's gone. I will get nothing else done. So I have to get everything else done and then I can crochet. And my hours at work have been pretty much 40 hours a week now. So we're just trying to get everything crammed into one day each day. But today I have off, so I'm going to get some, laundry done. Sorry, some laundry done, some phone calls made, and kind of at a point where I cannot continue the sunflower blanket until Thursday when I get more of the green yarn in. So that one I got to stop. But I can get some other stuff done and find that blue yarn, get it put in the other project bag, and then maybe I can make sure I've got the yarn for a Hocus Pocus themed blanket together so I can make a willow square blanket with the Hocus Pocus colors of yarn that I have. I really want to get that done because I think it's going to look absolutely beautiful. And other than that, today that's all I have for you. Just a quick update. Finish the elf blanket. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say about that elf blanket. I will insert a picture so you can see it. Now, please don't judge too harshly. I made the elk using the color camel from Big Twist that I got at Joann's. The first time I got it, I don't know why I was thinking I only needed 2 skeins of yarn. I got 2. Then I found out I needed more. Joann's was closing, so I went in, I found some more, and I was like, yes, got 4 skeins of yarn. I needed more. So to order online 2 to 4 more skeins. I don't remember which it was. I think it was 2 skeins of yarn. I've never had this problem. The first 2 skeins of yarn are one color. You know where I'm going with this. The others, different dye lots. My colorblind husband could see the difference in the dye lots, and I was absolutely crushed. The only time it really mattered, and I messed up. I did. Because on the elk, there is a line on the elk. The bottom is one color, the top is another, and you can obviously see it. And then I went, if I just made that like a wavy line, it might have looked better, like shadows. As it is, it's just a straight line. Straight line of color change. It does bug me. But the blanket's done. Nothing I could do for it except maybe pull it all apart, start all over. But when you see the blanket, you'll know why I didn't do that. However, the blanket is done. And the only time the dye lots really mattered on anything I made, and I messed up. I was so crushed. Anyway, let me know if that's happened to you guys because, I can't believe I did that. Cannot believe it. But in my defense, when I got those first 2 skeins, that was all they had. When I got the rest, they were closing. So I was kind of had to use what I had. So anyways, let me know if that's happened to you. And that is my update for the day. Not too much rambling. Just quick get in there, let you guys be updated on what's going on. And I'm planning on posting again within the next week. Hopefully you guys were able to stick with me. Sorry I disappeared off the face of the planet for 4 months. It was a lot longer than planned. But hopefully we are back and, knock on wood, we're good now. So if you enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe. I guess hit the notification button if you want to be notified when I post another video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please, thank you for sticking with me through my absence. I hope everyone's having a great time, doing well, and we will see you in the next video. Until then, you guys have a great day.